welcome back to the Gabriel Love YouTube channel. Today, another treat especial. That sweet head rush board, that was Josh's. That's Josh's. So, dude, thanks so much for coming today. We're gonna put together his pedal board today. We spent a while talking about all this. I'm gonna let him kind of go down the rabbit hole of him and how he came to this conclusion. That's his story to tell. I'm just here to facilitate the freaking tone junkiness. Like, I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
He's been a great support system. I'm super stoked to be at this point in the journey. I just decided analog was the way for me, and here we are.
Yes. So when we first talked, he's like, "Oh, head rush. I think it'd be great for you. It's super easy to program. It's very user friendly. Like, it was a great experience playing with it." But he's like, "Oh, I got a couple powered speakers. I kind of learned what they were," and then he ordered this sweet silk tone, and I'm like, yeah, dude, it's game over.
Yeah.
Pedals and a full stereo rig. He's got the bug bad. It's awesome. These are some of my favorite interactions. One of the coolest customers I've had in a very long time. So, dude, thanks again for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, so yeah, kind of just let's go through kind of the list of all the craziness.
Okay.
And let's get after it.
So I've probably looked at thousands of pedals, you know. I would say Josh Scott from JHS Pedals has probably been one of my favorite people to watch to help me like think through things. One of the things that, you know, in the beginning I was thinking there's a right pedal and a wrong pedal, and he's somebody who really taught me that there is no right pedal. All of the pedals are amazing and they just do different things, and you've got to decide what you like and what vibes well with you. And so that's been really fun to explore. It's been hard because I'm secondhand hearing it. Like, I'm hearing it through all these YouTube channels, and I'm trying to vary between the different channels and hear it multiple times to see if that's how it probably really is.
Is it consistent across to everything?
Yeah,
like, everybody that
sure.
plays the one thing, does it sound that good for everybody?
Correct.
But everybody plays different, so it's, you know, it's one of those things.
So then I've just kind of gone with a wide range. I've noticed that I mean, my pedal board isn't the biggest, and this setup's not the biggest, but it's also not the smallest. I've noticed a lot of people when they find their sound, they get a very specific like amount of pedals, and they're like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I tried to get something that was a broad range across the board, right? I want to be able to try and dabble in all my favorite artists and then create things that I think are magical, and so that's where we're at on this journey.
So
I'm super excited.
To me, I usually like to have, for me personally, I know exactly what I want as far as sound, what I'm going for feel-wise. I've established that as a player and as a tone guy. So, but with somebody that wants nothing but exploration and versatility, like, this is versatility, like, hence the expand board. Like, to go in and out, we might end up something totally different. We have enough power for whatever the heck we want to do, and yeah, we'll get it all dialed in, man. So you want to go through the list of what we got? Like,
yeah, we definitely can, for sure. So in my mind, we're starting off here, which you recommended. I actually haven't even seen this thing out of the box, but I'm like, I did learn a lot about tuners. I watched the pedal show, learned all about what the strobe tuner actually does and why it's so accurate.
Big difference.
Which really made me like, oh yeah, I'm so glad that I know Alaric, and we can just go down this road.
It's on all my boards. Like, this is the standard. I did Polytunes for a while, Boss TU3s, the Planet Waves one was good too, but this is the new king for me. Like, it's where it's at. Okay, first pedal down.
Then we went on to compressor, right? And I was really wanting to go with like one of Josh's pedals for this, but then you had mentioned, well, let's compare it to the Keeley and see what you think. And then when I saw its vintage tone and what it would do, and I could do super clean or a little vintagey, I was like, oh, I think this is probably the way that I want to go, because you know, it gives me more options, and it's obviously, like, I think it's the #1 compressor sold, if I'm being honest. It's not like just a compressor.
It made Robert Keeley famous, which, I mean, it's very similar to the Ross compressor. Like, it's very similar circuit, but it wasn't around. It was kind of that new age of, like, new boutique coming out. Like, he was one of those boutique builders, you know, full tone. Now you have, like, Wampler, Walrus Audio, like, guys that have been in the game for a while. JHS just came in and, like, mixed up everything. But it's been really cool with his concepts. But yeah, this is one of my faves. Yeah, I have an old school 4-knob on my board right now that I'm currently using. It's just as good as the day I bought it.
Nice. Yeah. I'm excited.
Ooh, quick little caveat with Keeley. While we're talking Keeley.
Please.
Okay, so my buddy Terry, that I had to go to his house and fix it, turned out one of the output jacks either had a cold solder at a cap or something. I'm gonna get the full diagnostics of it, but called them up, talked right to him, like, yeah, do you want to email the FedEx label to you? We'll ship it off. They paid for the shipping to them. They're gonna fix it and then they're gonna return it, and I don't have to do anything. And he's gonna do like 48-hour to 3-day turnaround.
Yeah.
Like,
cool.
amazing.
That's
like
amazing.
Awesome customer service. Like, you buy Keeley, you buy the support that comes with it.
Yeah.
So
actually, with all the videos I've explored over the last few months, I would say all the pedal builders are amazing people. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't believe how many of the interviews, and like, they're really down to earth. The community around pedals is amazing.
We're all a bunch of tone junkies searching for that next thing.
The only owner I literally didn't see of these pedals was Boss. And everyone talks highly of them, and I did watch some Boss videos, and they do amazing videos for their content and stuff like that. But
their
I
demo
didn't
dudes
see
are
the
amazing.
actual owners of Boss, but out of all the other ones, I've seen the owners, I've seen how they act, who they are, how their companies are ran, and they're all amazing people.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is so cool.
There's definitely
no
CEO
idea
and board
how
of directors
down
that
to earth,
runs Boss and Rollins.
I can't
They're
believe
way
how
too
down
big.
to earth the whole
Oh
community
yeah,
is. It's really cool.
It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's a fun community to be part of.
It's a scary rabbit hole for somebody like me. It definitely is. A few years back, I do caves and water slides and waterfalls on the side of swimming pools, and we did a job for Tyler Kirkham, which is an amazing comic artist for Marvel and DC.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know anything about that. I'd never been into comics, anything like that, right? And then I go there, I meet Tyler, super nice guy, and we design this cool feature for him. And then he takes me into his basement, which is themed like Skyrim. It's so cool.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the whole thing.
That's
it's
awesome.
done right. It's so cool. And then brings me into his art studio with all his art, and I'm just like, whoa, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, I negotiated some trade. We upgraded his feature, and then I traded with him for some like art and comic books and stuff. Still didn't know anything about comics, just knew that I loved the art.
Yeah.
Then I go and I get it was probably after I completed the job. I'm finally like in my office. There's a stack of this stuff on the desk. Yeah. I'm like, I got to figure out where I want to put some of this art. And I read a comic, and I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. This is like fun to read, but I don't understand where that comic is in the story. So then I go to a comic book store. Sorry, I'll try to wrap this one up.
It's all good, man.
I'm headed somewhere because this is my obsessive compulsive about this situation.
This should be quite apparent by now.
Yeah,
like we're both obsessive compulsive. Like yep, for sure.
So then I go to the comic book store. I ask the guy there, hey, I've just done this job for Tyler Kirkham. He's like, what? Tyler, no way. And then he's like,
mind blown.
Yeah, like, I can't believe you got to meet this guy. And then spends probably 3.5 hours teaching me all about comics and how they work and how the industry is and the stories is. And to wrap this story up, I probably have like 7,000 comics now, and like crazy amount of amazing
You get into something, you go hard, dude. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Okay.
And here we are, and I'm like, I don't want to end up like Josh is, where I'm just like walls of pedals.
Walls. Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah,
I do. It's fine.
It is amazing.
It's super fun.
I would love to do that. My wife, on the other hand, would rather I didn't spend my income on that.
That's true.
And for her to let me do this, even, thank you so much. I'm such a lucky man.
Dude, I have an amazing wife too. Lets me do all this crazy cool stuff too. So it's having a good partner, lady and a good partner, man. It matters. It really matters.
All right, we're moving on.
Okay.
So let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. So.
Way cool paint job on this one.
Yeah, so I watched the video on them and was doing the interview of the owners of Walrus, and then they were talking about what's their favorite pedal, right?
Sure.
And it was the Julia. He's like, this is my favorite pedal of all the pedals.
It's awesome.
And then this is the Julienne, right?
Yep.
And it's the stereo of that pedal.
Yep.
And then I like the original picture, but I'm just into nature and trees and stuff. And
the
so
artwork's always amazing.
I was like, man, if we can do this, that's really cool. Yeah, so
yeah.
I'm excited about this one.
Heck yeah.
I've actually, I got it earlier than the other pedals already taken out, and like played with it with just my guitar and my amp, and I'm like, this thing's so cool. I'm so excited today.
It's one of my favorite
courses. Building a
courses.
dream is what I'm doing right now. And,
I'm super stoked to be part of it, man. This is awesome. Oh yeah.
Right into the Silk Tone
Fuzz.
Charles, I watched tons of amp videos and went through all the different ones and the tones, and I noticed that I like more of a clean tone. And Charles was talking about how he got into audiophiles, and I've been into that kind of stuff for a little while. A while back I was doing audio, video, and security, and nerding out into home audio and all the sounds and the amps and how you can get, little cables that are $20,000 and $110,000 speaker towers and all kinds of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the same avenue that Charles had ran down, and then realized that if he was gonna afford one, he would have to learn how to build them, which makes sense to me. I'm in the same league, except I couldn't even build them. And so to have somebody on that wavelength and then go, hey, there's nothing in the guitar community that is to that level, just kind of sucked me in. I was like, oh my gosh, this could be something special.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so then I started looking into it more, and then talked with him, and then had him do this one for me, which is his upgraded version with the real wood and everything.
It looks so clean.
I really like that.
It looks so clean.
Mid-century modern vibe I'm really into right now.
Dude.
And so
it's cool.
Dude,
50s is awesome.
But that's his fuzz pedal, which has highly acclaimed, and I was like, well, if you're doing that, I should pick up your fuzz too.
Sweet. It looks way cool. They were completely off my radar. So I used to go down rabbit holes all the time. It was hard for me because I would just spend so much money, so much time just dumping ooh, I want to try it for myself.
Smart to turn it into a business.
And that's essentially, that's why. So it all started with Pedal Club back in the day, okay? So my work allowed me after hours on Saturdays, once a month, to have Pedal Club night. So guys would bring custom built amps that they did themselves, custom built pedals, their own pedal boards. So you got to see all these crazy diverse rigs, their styles made, and we all got to jam in each other's stuff. So it was like I didn't have access to keep all these way badass pedals at work.
Right.
But I knew this dude wanted to play his pedal and this dude wanted to play his pedal, and they're gonna get along like two peas in a pod. Like, why not bring everybody together?
Right.
Like way more sense of community, and it's already really good in community. But I like the real world. We're in the same room checking out each other's rigs. This is super fun for me. So I want to bring it back, but I want to do it in my own kind of private meeting place.
Yeah,
so if you like it, throw a like on that. Set a comment. You want to do it? I will do a mobile one. I will find a local music shop that we can facilitate it. Come in after hours.
I'd love to see your guys' pedals and check out what you guys have built.
It's so freaking awesome. And there's crazy tone junkies out there.
There's definitely tones that I've experienced now that are they're like magic. I don't know how else to explain.
They have mojo. It's strictly mojo, dude. Mojo is a thing,
Jeff
yo.
About it, and I was like, it's like magic, because there's a moment when
the light bulb goes on.
You're like
100%.
in it, and you're like, oh, that's okay, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I've been playing for 45 minutes and didn't even realize it. What just happened?
That's that was last week for me here. I jammed way longer than I normally do. I'm like, how did I have an extra hour of footage? I'm because I was just rocking out. It was fun. Everything just sounded good. I was like, I'm just gonna go with it.
I just gonna go with it.
Yep. Okay, so boring pedal, but necessary. With these pedals we got going on here, super necessary. So just your mission engineering.
But I like it because I liked how
it's white.
I liked how it's clean, and then the logo pops on it.
Yep, and it's gonna look real good sitting on a board next to that freaking nice white amp right there.
That's what I told myself.
Yeah.
That's the downside of being a really good salesman, is that I can sell myself pretty good.
Sometimes, see, that's the thing. Is a lot of the times working music retail, you get guys like Josh that yes, I answer a ton of his questions, but dude, he goes down the craziest rabbit holes and we get to do the coolest stuff together. This is gonna be a super sick board. I am very impressed with the choices that we came to.
Me too.
This is gonna be super sick.
I think within the budget, I think we peaked. I'm really
it is. We did go a little close to budget.
My buddy Brock is so good at getting the most value out of every dollar that he has. Mm-hmm. And I have not been that guy in the past, I'll be honest. I'm like, that's the thing I want, and I'm going to get that.
Me too.
And that's how
I've had to learn. I've had to adjust it.
He's like, is that going to give me, how often am I going to use it? How much is it going to give me back? And he stretches his dollars really far. And he lives an amazing life with that system, right? And so I've really tried to adapt my life that way. In fact, I didn't add probably 4 or 5 pedals because I'm like, they don't really meet that value peak at this point in the journey. They just be
cool to have, they'll come.
Yeah.
There'll always be just one more.
And
There'll always be just one more.
I do believe that, but I've got to space it out otherwise.
Yes. And that's where, at that point, some of those individual pedals that he might have done for this one, maybe that is better for a specific purpose board later.
Right.
Once you
Definitely
develop the
could be.
feel a little bit more and get on this, like it's gonna be an awesome journey, man. It's gonna be
I'm
a journey.
excited
here
that
for
I
it.
did the expander board because I can already see in my head, like,
of course, no surprise.
once I dial in more of
board.
my favorite things, I want to do a more permanent board that's like decorative and lit and fits in a case and everything.
Oh hell yeah.
So I watched a lot of Andertons. Oh my gosh, they've been on there. The Captain and Danish Pete, and I watched them do a competition, and the Tumnus was the most authentic clone that they have come with. Oh man, you can bring Josh into
This
it.
is the KTR.
I do love Josh's stuff.
And this, like, well, no, this is from KTR. This is a real clone.
Oh, I thought that was. Oh,
No.
I thought that was
This is a real clone.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
way cool.
So it's a
I've
KTR.
never seen the red one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's the same circuits as, I can't remember what the exact horse he is. Go watch Josh's video and he'll tell you. But these two in my video that I did with it, we did a huge clone shootout. I got the exact same sounds.
Yeah.
Like all the good sounds that I wanted to have come from it, it was equal. There was no difference.
Yeah, which
so,
was exciting
yes,
to me.
So and Space Saver.
Yeah. I just was excited because I'm like, even if I can get in that, if this many people that have played this long are all saying this thing, then I'm going to trust that judgment.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited to give it a go.
You don't need to reinvent the wheel, dude.
Yeah.
Like, standing on the shoulders of giants, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
I could either build this whole pedal board or own one clone. And so I decided, I think I'm going to go this route for now.
This is way funner.
Yeah.
Way funner than just a clone.
For the moment.
Yeah,
this is
for
where I'm
sure.
at.
Gain stage.
Yeah. The Morning Glory.
Morning Glory. Everybody should have one on their board or something like it.
It's Josh's #1 pedal, and I was like,
there's
dude,
a reason
I have
for
to
it.
have one of those
It's
on
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Love this
super
thing.
excited.
Yep. Version 4. V4, y'all.
Another thing I learned because of Josh was that keeping the boxes for these things is a bigger deal than I thought, because it
matters.
I've noticed on the places that we sell in Reverb and stuff like that they hold their value more if they have the box, 20 to 30%. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep all these boxes. Now the funniest thing, and I'm kind of ashamed about it, is that Josh is the one that taught me this, and the only box besides this one that I don't have is his Morning Glory box, and I'm like, oh man.
Got it used. It was a great deal.
Yeah, it was a good
and the pedals flawless. Like it said good condition. It's
I
excellent.
promise to get more, Josh, and I promise they'll have the box.
He will have the box.
Yeah, his what's the rat one that has all of them in it?
Rat Pack.
Yeah, the Rat Pack. I definitely want to have that.
Yeah.
And then his
The Bonsai.
the Bonsai.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, we got both of those here. We freaking love them.
Those are probably my two next that I would want to add, and then a blend knob, because I was watching the video about the Science Fair, which is their pedal that they built that
both.
you can blend between them, and I'm like, if I did those two and had a blend knob, it's like that same pedal on steroids.
Yep. So that's more for a specific board for sure.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Like there had to be a stopping point. Okay. Like we could have done like a huge scaled up board, but like for the budget we worked with, like we're gonna have insane amount of functionality with this board. And I'm gonna show you how to really drive these to their fullest of freaking abilities. So
there's some that I'm like super excited about.
Yeah.
The
EP
Morning
Booster.
Glory I was super excited about.
Yep.
The Strymon Cloudburst, I'm like, oh
I haven't
my gosh,
played one of
this
those
is
yet.
so
I'm excited.
cool.
I haven't played one of those. I'm excited
And
for
this
that.
Boss
DM101.
all analog delay with all the different options. I'm like, that may be the coolest new pedal that I've seen come out. It is really amazing.
Insanely impressive, and I hope it is the same here as it was on the other YouTubes that I've seen it. I'm pretty sure, but like this whole like upper series from Boss and like the whole Wazercraft line has been amazing. Like they have changed my mind fundamentally on what I thought about Boss pedals.
Cool.
I was a true bypass snob back in the day.
Yeah.
And I've learned that it's the right pedal for the right job, and that's okay. It's okay.
Based on what I've learned in the videos and stuff like that, I think I'm a huge fan of analog with digital control. Because if I can MIDI it in the future, I think that's going to be the coolest thing ever. Like the ability to set it up in
one button.
Yeah.
One button and change it like a multi-effects, but have everything analog or slightly digital, but still like actual pedals.
And I don't know if I'm even in the right mindset fully, but my mindset is that because I'm learning, I'm new to doing guitars and learning these songs. And, you know, in my mind, you know, as I learn songs, if I can build presets with the names of the song, and then I can just hit that and then play that song, that's like amazing to me. I don't have to spend a lot of time tweaking to get it, and I get this perfect sound that I previously had worked hard to get.
So that's
genius.
That's how I cut my teeth. Okay, that's how I got into tech work.
Yeah.
So when I first started at my job, I wanted to know everything about the pedals and what I was going to sell people.
Yeah.
So I took home every single manual in the entire pedal department.
Holy cow.
And read it cover to cover in 2 weeks. And I took the processors home after that and then learned all of them. And so anybody that ever had any questions on how to use it to their craziest potential, this is before YouTube,
glad
dude.
You did this for
us. It's great, man. Like, I love going down the rabbit hole, and I got some of the craziest tones on the most basic stuff because I knew how to EQ things. I have a good ear.
Yeah.
At least I feel I have a good ear. And it's really helped me over the years. But yeah, it's like that's where I started. I cut my teeth on doing crazy processors. So building custom rigs, and now I've just learned to bring it to the next evolution. How do you do it with all the analog pedals? So I did a crazy GCX audio switcher rig back in the day where it was 20 pedals, huge rack, and they all had presets. Like, it was really fun. Now it's a lot easier to do. Like this, it's the amount of programming you had to do back in the day.
I do feel like it's like the best time to get
insane.
into this stuff ever.
Oh yeah, cool. Some of the coolest stuff ever.
And knowing that, because I started to get into this when I was 20, and I'm not 20 anymore. And
who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, don't let this gray hair fool you. I know I look young, but I started, and then I suffer from ADHD, like most of the Americans out there at this point in time.
For sure.
And so I would start down this road of I'm going to play the guitar and be focused for a couple months, and then all of a sudden life would push me around, and I'm like, whoa, it's been like a month and a half, and I haven't played the guitar at all. And then time went by, and then all of a sudden changing into, you know, running businesses and owning houses and kids and all of that stuff. And time just goes by. And it wasn't until, until I went through some trauma, some more recent trauma, and reevaluated my life.
Well, it was really important.
Was like, I've got to do this. This is something that if I could do anything, this is one of those things. It's like you have those things in your life that you're living, and you're like, I know I want to do this someday, whether it's an artist or of any kind, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
And I would encourage anyone to really chase any form of art dream. Even if you're like, I can't really paint, or I can't really draw.
I can't draw for shit.
Most people start there. They can't, you know, but then you just keep, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can. And you build that skill.
Practice.
And if you've never done it, it's one of the most rewarding things for your brain and your soul. It's weird. It does something to you that changes the way you see pretty much everything. Yeah, it opens something up in you. It's a huge shift. Yeah. It opens something up.
To me, the closer you get to the veil, the more wide open your whole mindset becomes.
And I absolutely love it. That pedal. So I was gonna do the pitchfork. Josh had showed.
We ordered it. It showed up.
Yep.
But OC5 won.
And I was like, this is going to be amazing. But I started thinking that could I use this pedal board for acoustic as well? Could I make it where it can do really good acoustic? And so I went down that rabbit hole for a week and a half.
Yeah.
And I realized
I might have to just scroll back through the text, okay? Like just for fun, to show people like, yo, it was a lot.
It is
a lot really fast, dude. Info dump, but like, okay, so his knowledge coming in was like here. The week later it was here. The week later it was here. The week later it was here. Like he understands all the concepts. Like he's pretty much learned to run before he learned to walk.
True.
And so this is what I hope for this board for you. Like, I hope this is kind of going to be like a little anchor baby for you. Like, this rig is going to be an anchor baby to keep you tied to music.
Me too, and that's what I told my wife.
You go hard.
Like,
yep, exactly.
She's going to be real upset.
So, another fun thing. So, people think it's weird that people buy $3,000-$4,000 guitars for their first guitar. It's not weird.
No.
It's not weird. You're an adult. You can have nice things. You want to skip over all the BS of learning on a crappy guitar, crappy teacher. No, you can skip all that nowadays.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, there's so many good guitars out there, but like, if you want something like buy once, cry once, you'll be smiling the rest of the time you own it. Like, I'm huge into that.
Well, I just went through this, right? Yep. And my thinking is now, I can't believe how much more you enjoy the practice.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's
when it sounds good. matters.
Actually, what it is that you're getting to the magic moment that I'm talking about faster.
Yes.
Because if you're
easier
playing
for you.
something, yes, and you're having it where you're like struggling and it sounds good but not great, or you play something and it's easy and then you get the tone just right, and it's
Yep.
kind of like you're having your, like when I got into golf recently too, and I think everyone has a Tiger Woods moment, right? Where it's the
It's
one
an
shot of your
insane
game
shot.
and you're
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, this,
that was
that's how
legit.
Tiger would do it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's the goal, is to try to stack more of those moments so that you can enjoy it and be bound into it and be like, I mean, I'm not a great player at all, but there's definitely times when I've played things where I'm like, that sounded just like the real song. That's incredible. That's
Yep.
what I'm looking for.
And that's exactly. And
Yeah.
the more moments of those that you have, the more driven you're going to be to do it. And that's where I'm like, I buy gear and pedals to keep me playing.
Yeah.
To keep me inspired, to keep me
It does.
on my toes. I'm not going to play the same riffs 500 ways.
Right.
I do anyway, but it makes me want to write new things.
For sure.
So it's been a fun journey, man. So it's awesome. Buy once, cry once. Buy once, cry once. You'll be smiling the rest of the time you own it. It's gonna be freaking awesome.
True.
So, okay, let's go
Also-
modulation.
Also commit. Like a lot of people, and even that's where I failed, was that I was like, you're in, and then in your brain you're kind of half in and half out. And if it's something that you really want, it is gonna be hard to do. You're gonna have to make some life changes. But the best advice, hands down, that I had that helped me on this new path was, I watched this guy who was on YouTube. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he.
If we remember later, we'll notate it.
Yeah.
We'll pin it.
But he went through a bunch of tips for people that want to learn guitar in their older years. And what he said was that if you can just commit to 5 minutes a day, then that's the great start. He said the problem is we're all busy living our lives, and we've lived them our way for a while.
Yep, it's hard.
And
It's
then
hard to
we
switch
wanna,
up
like,
that
change
program.
it
Yep.
and put an hour into your current way of living, and that's a lot to shift.
Yep.
And so he's like, just commit to 5 minutes a day, and what you'll find is that sometimes that 5 minutes will turn into 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, and
Sometimes
so
it'll be just 5.
Yeah, yes, for real.
Sometimes it'll be just 5.
For me, especially in the beginning, there was evenings where life was just so busy, and it's 11:30 at night, and I'm supposed to go to bed, and then I'm like, oh, 5 minutes, and then I just go down, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do some scales, and then I go through it, and then I'm like, okay, I did it, and put the guitar back, and then go to bed.
Hey,
and
you
I'm
did
like,
it.
I
You,
did it.
you
Yes.
established the habit, and it's
I think
treated
it's
you
very,
well.
I think it's very important to tell your brain and you that this is important to you, and showing up for even 5 minutes a day is a huge difference, and it worked. And what I found is that I slowly went from 5 to 15 to 20, and now I do probably an hour to an hour and a half
and the better
a day.
you get,
Because I get
it's
stoked.
way fun.
Yeah,
And now with the more tones, like
Yes.
So anytime I do a rig for this, like for people, it's like, dude, I always say like, dude, enjoy your sore fingers, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's you're gonna play to the raw. Like
Yeah, totally.
it's there's no way around it.
And they wear in quicker than you think.
Oh yeah.
Like
I
was
fly
thinking,
through calluses.
Yeah, I was thinking it was gonna be you're gonna be weeks and weeks into getting calluses, but truthfully, it was not that long.
Well,
at all.
you work with your hands.
Yeah.
You kind of got some of that already.
Yeah, touche.
But as pretty boys that just talk for a living, it's yeah. I used to have rough freaking hands.
Yeah.
But I'm also allergic to nickel, so anytime I put like a nickel based string, like it's a lot of times my calluses just flake off. Like it literally the skin will just peel up, gone. So super glue is my best friend. If I have like a serious I want to play for like 2-3 hours, drop a super glue.
Oh,
been doing it since I was a kid.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, works freaking great.
Clever.
So
yeah, just that 5 minutes a day tip was probably the best tip. I mean, there's a lot of good tips, right? I've had tips from a lot of the stations, but that for me, the other ones are like advice on how to get more out of your practice and how to get
a little bit more specialized.
Stuff. Yeah. But that was the tip that I think made it from me going 20 years without learning the guitar to now I've been playing for the last year, and I've played almost every single day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's like
it's a really cool shift, man. That's awesome, man.
Thanks, appreciate it. I'm proud of it, and I'm excited, and it also in my mind keeps that value peak that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because now I know I'll be using these every day. Like I don't feel sad about this. I feel excited and joyous, and
exactly. That's how it should be. It should be a good experience. Like getting a rig should be a good experience. If you're not like over the moon stoked and like inspired to play. Like, so I say this all the time. If a piece of gear does not inspire you to want to play more,
Right.
write more, or play in a different way, it fundamentally failed at its job.
Right.
But if it did that, it did everything it was supposed to do.
For sure.
It's different for everybody.
That's the inspiration getter right there.
This is.
I would probably
this is
recommend
another Gliss machine. Another Gliss machine.
Yeah, I've barely.
It's freaking
messed
awesome.
with it at all.
Yep.
But
I've never played one.
I would say that this pedal probably is one of the number one pedals for a new person. And it's because it fills in so much on top of your basic playing that it makes you can make music. You're like, wow, it did a lot of the music for me, but it's
kind of edge in a box, dude. It is like these crazy Gliss machines like this, Rainbow Machine, the Cloud Burst, Cloud Mode's on the actual Big Sky. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah,
I haven't played this one yet.
Very
I'm excited for that one.
This is another really
M1.
cool pedal.
I've wanted this pedal since the day I saw it. I just cannot justify buying this pedal because I have not had a specific use on a board because I already have every one of these type of effects, and I have several of theirs in their own thing.
Right.
But the convenience where you can save so much space on a board. But generally, if I'm building a board for me,
MIDI controlled and
exactly. And once I get into like a Gig Rig G3, I will change up to a lot more MIDI driven pedals. It just makes sense. But for now, it's like I like individual pedals
I
for the
listen
time
to a
being.
lot of rotary because I think that's a cool effect.
rotary's so sick.
And I think that this pedal just nails it. I
Oh,
think
it's
literally
it's way
is
good.
like one of the coolest. And then the other thing that I like is I've been listening to lo-fi stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that it does that really well too. And I just love how you can still maintain analog and then blend in this sprinkles on top of it and make it what you want it to be, which I think is truly amazing.
I'm way excited for this one too, because the Ottawa on this is supposed to be amazing, and I love Ottawa.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super cool. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna get a wah pedal, and then Josh told me how he was, he would get one, and then he ended up just using it so much that it became an issue. And I'm like, that would totally be me. That would be me for sure. I would be like, this is just so fun. I'm just gonna throw this in there. And so anytime I can do an Ottawa or something that's gonna limit me a little bit, I think is probably a better idea for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, don't go down that too far rabbit hole. You've already gone down a crazy rabbit hole.
So, I mean, I've got enough things to play with.
Yeah. Okay. It's not exciting, but it has to be there.
Oh, it's pretty.
It's pretty. It's gonna look good on the board.
It's gonna do its job.
It's gonna look good on the board.
The Tone X.
Tone X, yeah.
This is amazing. I looked at a lot of amp generators and simulators and stuff.
Oh yeah.
The cool thing that I like about this one is not only can it do what those ones can do, but we can do IRs for acoustic stuff as well, which I think is incredible.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you can take that and help with your acoustic sound, amazing.
It just gives you a lot more capabilities. Like, not everybody's got a stack of amps like this.
No.
But you do.
Yeah, that's stack amps in a box.
You can't tell anymore, guys. Like, in software, the recorded tones, like
don't
EQ'd
say
properly.
Don't say that. You didn't mean that.
Sorry, it is what it is. You can't tell, but the feel and inspiration in the room, 100%.
Yeah.
I would much rather stand next to a moving speaker and feel that in my chest.
For sure.
That gets me going. Makes me want to I want to do this more.
Yeah.
So to me,
it draws you in.
Yes, it's convenient. This is convenient at 2 in the morning. Headphones, bro.
Headphones.
But headphones.
That was one of the other things.
Super convenient. Well, we wanted versatility
headphones.
like this.
Yep.
We wanted to do the head rush. That didn't work because of this, but this is a good in between where if he doesn't have the ability to turn on this big old loud amp and crank it to where it sounds where it's supposed to, it's going to be way nice to have this in your arsenal. It's a super flexible piece of gear. So.
And we may have saved the best for last. I think
hold on. We got 2 other ones, dude.
Well.
That is
to
me. This is going to be the gem. This is the gem.
Yeah.
Seeing the box, you guys already know what it is if you've seen the box of this. So, DM101, new delay, super cool. Yeah. This wasn't even on my radar until you said. I thought it was a Space Echo.
Yeah.
I was like, we got a Space Echo from the store. He's like, no, the DM101. I'm like, what the hell's the DM101?
Well, I had my finger very close to the pulse there for the last few weeks.
And it's way cool. Like I got to play with it just real quick, demoing it for a customer, hooking them up.
Just came out.
Yeah, super sick.
That is,
like,
we're very excited about that. For sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
And then I wanted a looper. I think looping's cool, but I was looking at single pedal loopers because I'm not obviously a loop expert, but I watched enough videos and realized that you do not want a one pedal looper.
Nope.
Because when
Waste
you have
of time.
to double click the second time to get it to loop again, then it throws off your mental
and the
timing
stop
for
and
when
everything.
you're
Yeah,
playing.
it's not cool.
And
it's,
so
nope, not worth it.
I needed multiple pedals just for that fact.
Yep.
So
And then this is
I guess
the
I gotta
first-
go with the bigger one than I was planning originally, but
Yeah.
I think it'll be worth it. And obviously
Exactly.
its capability is incredible.
It's a big
And
difference.
I can save songs. That thing has a drum generator, which I didn't even know. I was just looking for a looper and then realized, oh my heck, this thing will do background beats and all kinds of stuff.
RC10R is what we keep around here.
Cool.
You've seen it on the channel a bunch.
Yeah.
So I not only use a looper to loop and have fun, but I also use it because I want to dial my own tones.
Oh.
So I record myself raw and then put it in front of the pedals, and as it's playing, I can then go tweak my knobs because it's the exact same feel as I'm going to play it.
Oh.
So I get to do what I do for other people, for me, because I have a looper.
That's smart.
Get a looper.
See, one more thing that I benefited from and didn't even know about.
I didn't think you knew about that yet.
Yeah.
But I don't see a lot of other people do it.
Yeah, smart.
But I always recommend if you have a looper, use it. Like, learn how to dial these tones.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like, ooh, I want that good tone, but like you got to play an intricate riff, and then you're like, oh, it's not right. I got to tweak a knob. Well, if you just play that intricate riff and then sit there and dial it, like it saves so much time. So much time.
Cool.
So
yeah, smart.
Sweet.
There's a lot of
Power,
things that I'm excited to learn.
Power Voodoo Labs. We have to power a ton of crap. Okay. Everything's 500 milliamps out, like, and I need to spread them across the board just so the cables will freaking reach. Okay, like this board's gonna be maxed out, guaranteed, and we might have to get creative with some of the pedal placement. Like this is gonna be an interesting build. Like this is, I usually take a diagram and use an app on my phone so I can see if the dimensions are actually gonna work. I've put enough stuff together with the expand board, especially and all the crazy weird size pedals. I think we're gonna be okay, but it's gonna be close.
I'm gonna trust your judgment.
We got hell enough power, and if we have to call an audible, this is the one thing that's going off the board, because this can always sit on the side of the board because it might move front of the board, it might move back of the board all the time.
I had several people recommend the pedal too, the main expression pedal. They're like, oh, it's just put it on the floor
you don't have to have it. Yeah, you don't need to have it on your board. It doesn't need Velcroed in.
Then
we have a couple things that we can call an audible on if we need to, but I don't want to leave him too much room on his board because he'll feel it a little too fast. I want him to get comfortable with this first. Because I don't want anybody that I work with to go down programming rabbit holes, because you will spend more time programming than you will actually playing and practicing. And that is so counterproductive. So counterproductive. So I want it to be inspiring, and you walk by the room and be like, oh, I got that sick piece of gear in there, bro. I'm gonna go play with that. That's what it's supposed to be like.
I do leave mine out and ready to go.
Oh yeah, you have to. You have to. Oh, my stuff is always hooked up. All I gotta do is flip a switch. Like here, flip a switch. My house, flip a switch.
Yep.
Easy.
You
and
do
it is
want to
live,
keep it
ready.
super easy. I noticed that does make a big difference. And
huge difference.
And time in your life is super valuable. You're gonna want to make sure that you can make it as easy as possible.
My most precious
we were aiming for
thing.
5 minutes, so you don't want to spend that 5 minutes setting up your stuff.
Nope. You don't. Or fighting with it.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, why did I have to tone yesterday?
This thing's incredible. I'm super excited. There was so many pedals. I was like, oh, maybe I need one of these, and then realized, oh, nope, this will do it. Oh, so maybe I should get this. Nope, this will do it. So,
dude, this is one of the coolest.
The versatility of this pedal.
Arcade Dave, who did the custom artwork that you see in our end card. This is the first time I got to play with one of these. Was he had a Chase Bliss that we did on his board. Like, so he did the suitcase lift up board just like Paul David's. Like he went with a couple Maris pedals, the LBX. Like, dude,
amazing.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch on YouTube.
Yeah, he is.
But
he's just so genuinely kind and nice.
And the guy's a monster.
The guys are, truthfully.
Like, one day I want to get to his production level value.
I
like,
want to just be able to play like
so
him.
pro. I know I'll never get to play like that. I know I'll never get there, and it's fine because I don't have enough time to get there.
Yeah.
But I understand all the tones he gets, and I can recreate those just fine. And that is good enough for me. That's good enough for me.
I'm super glad you know how to do that. Somebody's got to show me how to do all this.
That's one thing that's going to be super cool, is showing you like how to listen to relative things and walk you through it for what's going to be right for you. It's not the same for everybody.
Right.
So what I tell him, take with a grain of salt as far as like this is specific for him. Now, there's a lot of generalized stuff. Like modulation is pretty generalized. You're going to play the effect. or play to the
That
effect.
was one thing that I learned looking at everyone's boards. I've looked at over 100 boards and then thousands and thousands of pedals, right?
Yeah.
And there's no board that is like someone else's board.
Nope.
I've never
it's
seen
all individuals.
ever two
That was one of
boards
the
that
coolest
were the
things
same.
about Pedal Club,
Yeah.
dude, is you like homemade boards,
Yeah.
wood boards, custom welded boards, crazy plexiglass with LEDs and like strobe lights inside.
Cool.
These are just dudes that do this in the garage.
Yeah, I love that
like,
kind of stuff.
And a lot of those turned into
I was
businesses.
thinking it would have been cool to put like
Yeah.
a EQ thing that was live EQ'd on the front of the board, so when people
Yeah.
were looking at me and the
Yep.
speakers, I was like, we'll see someday maybe. Okay,
Oh,
and then the
so-
beautiful amp that we're stoked about.
Freaking Silktone, man.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
excited.
I didn't even watch any videos on this.
Yeah.
I just looked at the specs, and I know I'm gonna like it.
Charles is Silktone.
Yeah,
is
it's gonna be
such a
freaking
nice guy.
awesome.
He literally has already checked in with me since I received it to ask how it was and how
Awesome.
my experience was, and you know, and I just love it. And he's building me another one now, which is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's secret or not. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
He does one
way
called
fun.
the Micronaut, and then he does another cabinet called the Astro, and I got him to combine them. So in my mind, that's an astronaut, and so I'm pretty excited
Yeah.
about it. And then he's got an out on it that I can even use for headphones, or I can run it
Direct out.
through that and then into this one and daisy
Oh, chain them.
them.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
So
if
you
I
can use the
want to.
preamp from one to the other. That's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
so-
and that's hand-wired amps, man.
excited.
Custom stuff. Custom stuff is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Dude, I'm in love with this thing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's
Okay.
build
Yay,
the
we get
freaking
to
board.
begin. I'm
Let's
so
freaking build
excited.
the board, dude.
The magic is finally
Yeah,
here.
freaking. The explanations are out of the way. Now time for the fun part.
We did it.
Yeah, we freaking did it. It's spaceship. We had to do a couple audibles. You can see the 500 is like kind of off the edge. We'll throw in some sweet pan shots and B-rolls of this, how it's all laid down. I still have to go underneath and zip tie everything. Last thing, but we want to do the outro. It was nice and fresh. We just got done jamming on it,
Yeah.
and
Sounds
Dude,
fantastic.
it sounds ridiculous. Like, it went together so
Barely
smooth.
opened Pandora's box, and
Yep,
it's about to
this,
get crazy.
the Silktone Fuzz, I'm super interested in. It sounds amazing with the amp.
It does.
And then this, I don't 100% understand how to use it yet, but I'll learn. And then I will teach you, and it'll sound friggin' amazing.
Fantastic. I'm
So,
excited about that.
Yeah, next step in this journey of his is I'm going to be teaching him how to dial the effects for him. So episode 2 coming when we get a second
Yeah.
to do it on actually dialing in custom for him on this board and how you're going to find, and over the next couple weeks, what you've learned
Yeah,
on your
for
own, just
sure.
dinking around, because you know you're going to go down a crazy, your finger's going to be so sore by the end of the
excited,
weekend, bro. It's
yeah.
awesome.
I'll tell you, just getting the amp, I already was playing way more just because it was
yeah.
the tones are
New
sucking
Gear
me in
Day is
so much more.
amazing.
So yeah, I'm sure that this is going to be my life for a while,
yeah.
which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like,
great.
this is going to be your anchor into the passion because
Yeah.
you've invested enough money. It's It's not some $300 guitar that's going to sit in the closet.
Yeah, no.
It's not. This is
my life
This is
now.
legit. Yeah, this is super legit, and you can go do whatever. Like, this is as pro of a freaking board as I've ever built.
Yeah,
like it's on par with anything that I've ever done. So it's,
thank you.
dude, it's awesome.
really
The collaboration, like you're like, oh, check out this video, or like watch this, and like we'll link some of the videos. Like I said, I'm gonna scroll through like some of the messages of like back and forth, like kind of how we came to these and why we came to them. We'll go in more depth when we actually do like kind of the dial session on why he chose it. But I mean, right now it's a playground.
Yeah,
you literally can do anything.
It's super exciting.
Crazy.
I literally feel like a Christmas experience. I haven't had that in a long time. I'm usually the Santa Claus. The gray hair, I look like a hot Santa, I get it. But but finally I get to be the one receiving the presents, right? Where I'm like, this is my day. This is awesome.
Dude, I'm so glad I was able to be part of this, man.
Yeah.
This is really fun. Like, this is some of the best part of why I do this. Like, this, the look on his face when I just was dinking around real quick. He's like, dude, how? That's like, you were so simple, but it sounds so amazing. That's the point.
Yeah.
Good gear sounds good, and it's up to you to just come up to that standards. And the nicer gear you have, the faster you're gonna come up to those standards. Like, it pushes you to do better.
It just literally draws you in. Right,
yeah, like I said,
like
a good
I'm just
piece
watching
of gear,
and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. This is incredible. So, thank you, thank you for your time.
Dude,
thank you for this.
Man.
I'm excited for the future, and I look forward to episode 2 when
hell
we start dialing everything in.
Dude, hell yeah, awesome. All right, thanks so much for stopping by. Dearly beloved out.
Thank you.
Peace.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo.